Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session also on my behalf. So as Petro said, we will start with some basic information of the funding model, and then talk about the practicalities concerning the application process. And after this, we will have time for discussion. And also, if you prefer, you can also submit questions through the chat functionality. And I'm trying to, excellent. Now I hope you can see my second slide. So the purpose of the TIA funding model is to strengthen collaboration between academia and industry, and thereby to increase the impact of research. And for this, the TIA postdoc model funds projects that further the aims of academic research, but are also relevant from the perspective of companies and the industry more broadly. And the funded projects, they are 2-year research projects that are carried out by a postdoc who works at a Finnish university or research institution throughout the whole 2-year period. And this research is carried out in collaboration with an industrial partner. So during the 2-year project, the postdoc works 12 months at the research organization and spends altogether 12 months at the company site while being employed at the research organization for the whole time. And the months worked at the company can be flexibly allocated throughout the 2-year project, depending on the project needs. So for example, during year 1, the postdoc can spend 4 months at the company site, and in year 2, 8 months at the company, whatever is most meaningful from the perspective of the project. And like any funding model, the TIA funding is also subject to certain conditions and requirements that are outlined here. First of all, the project needs to be a so-called pre-competitive project, which means that it is early stage, usually high-risk explorative research, and the results should be made public and useful for the industry more broadly. And of course, the project should be based on mutual interest and genuine collaboration that benefits both parties, both the academic and the industrial partner. And it should have potential for both academic and industry impact. And this, of course, needs to be elaborated well in the application. And the funding is granted to a university or research institution for the purpose of hiring a postdoc researcher for 2 years. And what is required already at the application stage is a committed industry partner. And this is why it's a good idea to start discussions with a potential partner already well in advance before the application deadline, which is in April 16th. And the applications will be assessed by 2 independent external reviewers. And in the evaluation, equal weight is given to the academic quality of the research and the potential industry impact as well. And a few words about eligibility and roles. So the application is completed and submitted by the project's principal investigator, PI, or by a delegate authorized by the PI. And the PI is typically a senior level researcher, such as a professor or group leader, who is then in charge of supervising the funded postdoc at the academic host organization throughout the 2-year project. And the postdoc who is hired to the project should hold a doctorate degree with less than 10 years from obtaining the degree or a permission to defend. The postdoc does not have to be appointed at the application stage. He or she can be appointed also after the funding decision. And the industry partner, it should be a business organization operating in Finland and whose operations are relevant for the joint research project. And the organization, the company should have relevant resources, processes, and expertise to provide for the project. And from the industry side, also an industrial supervisor is required, who is then responsible for the implementation of the project on the company's side and for the supervision of the postdoc while he or she is working at the organization. All right, and this is everything from my side at this point, and now Petra will walk you through the details of the application process. Thank you.
And I'm gonna walk you through quickly the application process and some of the practicalities that are important for you to know. So, as probably many of you already know, the call info letter has already been published on our website. It was published in the middle of February, and all the guidelines with respect to this call can be found on our website. However, not until today, the actual application form hasn't been open. So it was opened this morning. So you can actually access the actual form, and I will show you quickly how soon. Over the period of this application period, we will be providing you some guidance and assistance in a form of one-to-one coaching sessions. Reservation and registration for these coaching sessions was made available also this morning. And all of you who have signed up for our email newsletter have been invited to book those times for the sessions. They are basically 30 minutes conversations regarding your applications, any questions coming up your mind in terms of the application process or evaluation or something you want to discuss with us regarding your project and its practicalities. If it happens that all of the times will be fully booked and there will be no available times, you're free to contact us, of course, via email or phone us, and we can try to find you suitable assistance anyhow. The actual application period, which started just right now, this morning, will be 6 weeks altogether. So the application form will close 16th of April 23:59, and there will be some extra time, at least 7 days, for the industrial partner to finish their own version of the form. So they will be invited to fill a separate application form, which is much simple in its nature than the actual application form conducted by the PI. And we will take care that all of them will be answering within time. So what happens after that is the evaluation period. All of the applications will be evaluated by 2 independent evaluators, one of them being more expert on the academic excellence of the application, and the other one being perhaps a little bit more expert on the industrial side of the specific scientific applications. So each of those elements will be highlighted in the evaluation. Once we have got all the reviewers' statements of the applications, which will take a couple of months, we will be ready to go through them internally here at the foundation, and our board of directors will make the final decisions during the August, meaning that we're quite confident that the whole process will be finished by the end of August. So we will let you know by that time. meaning that the first projects can already start at earliest in September. So that's basically the application process. And next, I'm going to show you how you can find all the information on our website and how you can access the actual application form. And here we are. So the present call can be found here under the funding section. Just go to the open calls. And here we are. There is one call open. And it's Tandem Industry Academia Postdoc call. So click read more. And there are some of the basic call information you should browse through, and the notion that please carefully read the guidelines before submitting your application. You can access the guidelines here, and here you go. There are a lot of small details explained here in the guidelines section, and some updates has been made for these guidelines for this present call. So if you have applied for this funding previous years, it's especially important for you to go them through, since there are some small changes here, and especially, for example, the project plans has what we have introduced one new section to the project plan, and also the length of the project plan has been modified a little bit, and so forth. However, at the end of this page, you can find a link to the actual application form, and this will bring you to our application system. You have to register to the system, sign up and make your own account, and then you can make your application. However, you can already, as you can see here, the open call, you can already test your eligibility criteria by clicking these pre-questions here. It will give you some information. And you can download actually the whole application form in the form of a PDF through this link. So this is quite handy because you can see here precisely what will be asked and how many characters can be put in each of the box and so forth, what attachments we are asking and so forth. So over the years, we have funded now altogether 30 projects through this Tandem Industry Academia Postdoc call. In addition, we have 6 professors funded through this call. It's a little bit different sort of an instrument, but quite similar in terms of the industrial partner. And we have actually learned a lot about why people are actually applying this funding and what are they thinking are some of the best things in this funding scheme. And also we have tried to develop the instruments by all the feedback we have been receiving over the years, so it has changed into better, hopefully. First of all, if you think about this instrument as an opportunity for the postdoc, so basically it's a 2-year full grant for making your own research, but at the same time, as you are advancing your career as a researcher, as a postdoc, because we are expecting every postdoc to publish also in an international level academic journals, but also you have the opportunity to learn about the industry and especially learn a new sort of a working environment, since there is this 12 months altogether spent with in the corporate premises. So it's a quite unique opportunity actually to access company resources and also enlarge your view about the possibility of career opportunities. But you're not giving up, however, your academic career at the same time. So it's a quite good opportunity for postdocs. If you think about this from the perspective of the PI, principal investigators, who typically are in our applications are quite senior level researchers who already have a lot of grants from different sources. They may have a relatively big team of top-level researchers, postdocs. It only represents a small amount of, perhaps represents only a small amount of the overall funding the PI may hold. However, there are no other this kind of instrument available at the moment who will provide you with an opportunity to get access actually to the company resources, knowledge, data, materials, production processes from the perspective of the research. So it's very important to bear in mind in terms of this instrument that the starting point of this collaboration is based on the needs of the research. So if you think about it in terms of technology readiness, it's more close to the basic research than production development or bringing your product into market or something like that. That's not the on the focus of this instrument at all. So it's more like doing basic research on the condition of the research itself with the help of a company. So that's the starting point, and it provides a unique sort of resources and data for many of those researchers and research teams that other researchers would not have access into. And if we think about from the company perspective, of course, the company, the best they can get is actually to tap into the top-level research knowledge provided by in the form of the postdoc and the PI and access to the whole university and the team can also be quite fruitful for a company. So they're making new networks, but they're also tapping into the top-level knowledge because even in the companies who has their own research and development departments, they usually don't have that deep knowledge in all of the subjects that can be examined within the academic context. So they're quite happy to actually learn from the postdocs, and they appreciate a lot this top-level knowledge that they are getting their hands on. So this is all on our behalf, and next we will have a lot of time for your questions. So thank you on our behalf at this point.